Yep. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in Hull on the east coast of the United Kingdom, a fishing port, a ferry town, university town, and they have a famous bridge called the Humber Bridge, and they're deciding to take hundreds and hundreds of Jaguars across it this morning being Sunday the 17th of September 2017. It's going to be a glorious day and a glorious sight here in East Yorkshire in the northern part of the United Kingdom. Coming along, an XJ's very nice XJ, a very nice XKR, and another XKR with a special, both these vehicles are special registrations, personal registrations, SB7799, 800 LXE. These are old registrations which have been returned. And now we have a beautiful E-Type coming along, which is in a darker version of British Racing Green. Quite an early one, with the closed headlights. This one's originally registered in Kent, south of England. It's followed by an XJ with a personalised plate, which would be Greater Manchester, but is actually personalised, so that's probably his initials, PMB. It's finished in a beautiful dark metallic silver with a beautiful leaping Jaguar badge on the front bonnet. These are optional, and for a while were supposed to be illegal in the United States, but I think that may well have been slightly relaxed of late. Followed by a modern XJ, personalised plate, N60THY, finished in black. It looks like this one has a sunroof, very nice. The modern XJ, some people say, is a little too modern for their liking, but behind it we have a
he was at Windsor Castle
Jaguar with extended wheel arches and wire wheels. That registration is probably original and dates from and is relates to London. It's dark purple. It's absolutely gorgeous. Followed by an XJR in metallic purple. It's a convertible. It has a personalised plate, originally Northern Ireland, but now personalised. It's followed by another XJ. This one has a personalised plate, spelling out the word Brown, Brown D. I think it's Mr. Brown? I think it's supposed to be Mr. Brown's car. Mr. D. Brown, perhaps. It's in dark silver, it's immaculate. This is a real managing director, a real vice president's car, this one. Or president, I should say. Coming along is a very early London registered XJ. This one's from 40 years old, about 1977, finished in metallic. It's actually a Daimler version. Some of the ultra-luxury versions were badged Daimler. Basic same body shell, but badged Daimler. A historic luxury brand in the United Kingdom that used to make sports cars and limousines and a few saloons. For a while, top-of-the-range Jaguars were branded Daimler. In fact, the royal family used Daimlers as official limousines in the past. In fact, Her Majesty the Queen had her own XJ Jaguar, which she used to drive 20 and 30 years ago between some of the royal estates, we're told. I've even seen the vehicle. It's in private hands now in the United Kingdom. Coming along is a Jaguar with a personalised plate, G318CY. It's finished in a kind of a topazzy metallic, so it's not the official topaz, that's gold, but in a gunmetal grey colour. Where, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Humber Bridge. The event is to take the vehicles over this spectacular bridge, rather like.
Right, just follow those. Alright. Alright. He had a good run. Because we're going round into the gathering area. Just follow us.
SKO1. I think I've seen it at the. Remember the XJS meet in Wales? Never been to Hull. Only from lunch.
Right. This is our icon, the Humber Bridge.
Yeah. You tell us something about the bridge that we're recording?
Well, it was built in 1981. It was opened up by the Queen and was one of the longest suspension bridges in the world until one was built in, I think it was China, and it's one of Hull's icons.
Right, well we're going to see it later, aren't we?
Yes, you are.
All these cars are going to be driving over the bridge, and we're going to film it.
I'm filming it live, your road,
yeah.
So if you want to come.
And here we have a light metallic blue 1967 or 8 Mark II Jaguar. If any of you folks have seen the British series Morse, you would have seen Inspector Morse driving around in a purple Mark II. That's a Daimler version.
You can just put some of those in your pocket with, if I can raise some money for the club or whatever.
The lady's just informed me that they're all accumulating here. There'll be about 50 to 100 cars, and then they're going to go down. You can just see the bridge is over there. They're all going to go on a parade across the bridge, and then they're going to turn around and come back again. So hopefully when they're all ready, we'll get across the bridge, we'll go down onto the bridge and watch them all go across. Okay.
Once assembled, all cars at 11 AM will be fit onto the bridge. The bridge will then be closed to normal traffic. Supposedly going to put some drones flying above the bridge, and the whole thing, the convoy, will be filmed just for Jaguar. So how good is that? Apparently this man's going to get a jetpack.
Yeah.
He's going to fly above the bridge.
Hold on to 2 drones.
I'm afraid it's not going to be me. I'm going to be on the bridge, but I won't be in a drone.
See, no sense of adventure, you see. You're going over the bridge, or just...
Yeah, that's the plan.
We're in the old child. Sorry? Over the bridge is a place called the old child factory. Just wondering if any of you've got a car park. See you later.
Yeah,
Oh, let's
okay.
run.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Head south towards Humber Bridge, A16.
Okay, we've now got Jaguars coming over the Humber Bridge in Holland, UK. A beautiful yellow XJS, red XJR convertible. That's an X-type. This is a blue XJS. Then we've got a light blue E-type coming. An XKR in white, a convertible black XKR, an XJ in purple, very nice. Convertible dark blue XKR, turquoise XJ, XJS convertible in silver, green, XKR convertible in red, XKR in purple, XKR in green, XKR convertible in black, an early pre-war Jaguar asset that is. An XK convertible from the 1950s, beautiful. An E-type, light blue, convertible, S-type, a modern XJ, Mark II in the same colour as Morse's purple, a black XKR, black XJS, another black XJS, special XKRs coming along, beautiful liveries for Shell, for Castrol Oil, and a special Jaguar commemorative racing livery. XJS convertible in black, SK1 special registration, XJ in XJ, XKR convertible dark blue, XJ in purple, an S-type in metallic silver, an XJ in purple, very nice. An X-type estate in gold, an S-type in black, an XJS in black, special registration RAC32W, an S-type in silver, a silver modern XJ, a purple XJS, top of the range 4 headlight version. Purple XJ, XKR convertibles, E-type in black, an XJ, a Mark II, dark purple, convertible of purple XKR, special registration XJ, early XJ in purple with a vinyl roof, more XJ, black XJ, special registration, Mark II in metallic blue, black inside, early one. Coming along, an XJ in topaz gold, and an F-type convertible in beautiful white, an XKR in an XJ purple, an F-type in black, an XKR convertible in black, a modern XJ in purple, an very late XJ in light metallic blue, a red convertible XJS, JXE178, gold XKR, S-type in purple, dark purple XJ, XKR in mid-blue, 4 light blue XJ, XKR in red, in purple, XKR in purple, vintage, beautiful, Mark 5, Mark 6, Jaguar just post-war, XJ, light blue, Mark 2, light blue, E-type, XJ, a C-type, an E-type, an XJ in British Racing Green, a light
I knew it already. But I thought that was something.
This is the second, I think this is probably the second oldest. The Mark V was the oldest. I spent a big panic. Coming back now, I do a short scene setting into national audiences. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the United Kingdom, in Hull, on the east coast. It is September the 17th, 2017, and we have all just witnessed by the Humber Bridge, which is a famous bridge near the city of Hull, a very interesting procession of Jaguars of all ages and eras and types and colours progressing sedately along the Humber Bridge and back again. And sadly it started to rain, as often happens in the north of England, and after the event we have now taken temporary refuge in a small country park car park just by the Humber Bridge, where a number of the drivers have come for a little light snack and rest before proceeding on the next stage of their journey. Whilst we were in the car park, we happened to spy a beautiful, also it seems, C-type Jaguar, which in fact, as you may know, was a type of racing Jaguar from the 1950s in the UK, in a beautiful gold colour. And in conversation we spoke to the owner, who actually told me, amazingly, this fabulous vehicle is a replica on an XJ6 chassis. It's amazing. So let me hand over to the owner, and perhaps he can tell me a little bit about the car.
Right, well, it's just an XJ6 running gear. Bought a new chassis and body kit from Realm Engineering in Worcester, and just spent a couple of years building it up. And that's pretty much all there is to it.
So it's a replica.
Well, I noticed
Unbelievable.
It's got an authentic 1950s registration, ONV 113. Is there a story there?
No, that just used to be on an old van.
Oh, right.
But yeah, the DVLA registered it in that number, just to give it a period look, as opposed to having a 17 reg, because it's only been registered since the 3rd of this year.
Oh, right. How old was the original XJ it's based on, do you know?
The XJ6 was 1985, so I still have to pay road tax for it.
Oh gosh.
Unfortunately, but that doesn't matter really.
You should dress up in the period gear and race. In fact, this is a sort of car in the 1950s you would have raced around the Brooklands racetrack in Surrey in, I guess.
But yeah, this is a replica of a Le Mans winner.
It's a replica of a specific vehicle.
Well, a specific type of vehicle.
And colour.
No, the colour is the colour that Jaguar gave the Banjo.
Right.
And I think the original car is owned by JB Classics. The original, which is
The original still exists?
Oh yeah, yeah. And I just copied it off pictures of theirs.
Oh wow.
Because I'd never actually seen one, a real one, before I started building one.
I've seen one or two at the NEC shows over the years, but they're very rare and incredibly expensive.
No, well, originals are.
Originals?
Yeah, they're in the millions, but these are just toys. They're not anywhere near that sort of figure.
Yes, I should have such a toy. I would certainly enjoy So really, what I mean, one can imagine that you dressed up as a 1950s racing driver, spinning this round a circuit somewhere.
What, in a cork helmet? I don't think that'd offer you much protection nowadays, would it?
Perhaps not. Perhaps not.
But yeah, it keeps me out of trouble.
How far do you take this vehicle? How far have you come today?
From Lincoln, about an hour away.
Right.
So it's only about 30, 40 miles, not far. But yeah, it's only done about 250 miles, so I'm just ironing out a few of the faults, and then it'll be ready to go.
Have you any specific up-and-coming UK Jaguar events in mind for next year?
No, I'll just try to find something that's not raining. Because it does hurt your face when you're blasting down the road.
As I say, we haven't got the Florida or California sunshine.
No.
There's no windscreen, is there?
No.
Really?
No, that's the only reason I have sunglasses on.
You get flies in your face?
Yes. And they hurt.
Oh,
I would imagine, because I mean that windshield doesn't look like it can really keep very much off at all, really, does it?
No, it just deflects the blast over your head as much as possible.
You get a stiff neck driving this around?
I'm thinking about getting a scarf.
Well, yeah, as
there
I
you
say.
go. You'll be,
and some goggles, again, 1950s.
you'll be old period soon, won't you?
Yeah,
It'll grow on you. Leather jacket, goggles,
White
and a
cork
crash helmet.
Can I have a picture near the car?
Yeah, you take a picture.
We seem to
You'll
have
be on
some
our
visitors.
video now.
We've got some more little visitors.
There's
that
some
have
admirers.
spotted this unusual vehicle and want to be photographed by it. And why ever not?
Yeah. There you go.
Very rare vehicle.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very rare vehicle.
Are we, could we have a look, now it stopped raining, could we have a look inside?
Yes. Yeah. Excuse my mess.
So this is exactly how the authentic car would have looked inside?
Very similar, yes.
I mean, it does look so original. It doesn't look like a replica, does it?
These were the days when racing drivers, they used to have to stand by the vehicles, didn't they? And at an angle, all the cars lined up and then run to them.
Yeah, it's hard work driving it for an hour. I wouldn't like to do it for 24
Obviously
hours.
no power steering.
No. I think the rack in this is a Moggy Minor.
A Morris Minor for our American viewers. It certainly must be an attention grabber wherever you go.
Yeah, it's not for the shy and retiring type, that's for sure. Try not to get it out of the garage too early in the morning to upset the neighbours.
Is it got to be really cheeky and ask you to start it?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it.
Doesn't sound like an XJ6, does it? Let's look under the engine. So, open the hood. This is a standard XJ engine.
Yes.
Old XJ6, 1980.
Yeah, just change the cam covers.
Fabulous. A bit like an E-Type inside, isn't it?
Yes.
But again, that's development from the C-Type to D-Type to E-Type.
What's the little dial for?
What, on the battery?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fuel pressure.
Fuel pressure.
Yeah.
Dig the wire wheels, very nice.
Go up the car, didn't you?
They have James Bond type wheels. The hub in the centre would come out with rotating knives to burst the tires of any pursuing vehicles.
Just amazing. I can't believe you built this.
Yeah, kept me out of the pub 2 years.
Certainly not a sight you see every day.
Well, I certainly didn't tell the missus what I paid for all the stuff.
Well, don't tell her. She might see it on YouTube.
Yes.
And now the sunshine has come out, right on cue. And it gleams. So this is a copy. Le Mans winning car driven by the famous 50s racing driver Fangio. The real car still exists and works. Very evocative of Britain's connection to Jaguar racing over the years. You may have seen some of the old films of racing Jaguars of the period, the old black and white films, as the driver races to his vehicle. No starting grid positions in those days, and off they went. Simple car, one man's skill tested against another with limited technology. Pure racing, pure driving.
And of course they then went on to do the D-type,
which is distinguishable of course by a rear fin.
yeah, and then they went onto the E-type.
And the E-type evolved as a road vehicle, and of course
you can
was in production for well over a decade.
You can see a bit of the DNA in the E-type, can't you?
Absolutely. Come on, stop it, don't do that. Right, so,
Okay.
just put this in and we can do that. We'll have our brunch and all done. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're here in Hull in the United Kingdom on the East Coast. We've just witnessed a parade of classic Jaguars, all eras, types and colours, going over the famous Humber Bridge. Hull being a port city in the east of England, in the north. We've just stopped at the car park by the Humber Bridge, where some of the drivers that have just taken part in the procession have parked up for a few minutes. And amongst other vehicles, we've noticed a very, very nice British Racing Green XJ6, a very late example of the traditional XJ. They're now being, of course, a new shape, which looks very futuristic, but perhaps upsets some of the old-fashioned purists. This vehicle carries a private UK registration of C11 Duo, DUO. The owner is just here, and I'm just going to ask him a little bit about this lovely vehicle. So, can you tell me a little bit about this car? It's a very late XJ, isn't it?
Well, it's the last of the what some people consider to be the real XJ6s, although the new ones are beautiful cars. This is the last of the traditional shape, as you rightly say. But the unusual thing about these is that, of course, they're all aluminium and very lightweight. And even this particular car, which is the low, you know, the base 3 litre, the same engine that was in the S-Type 3 litre 240 brake, as the car only weighs the same as a modern Mini, coupled with 240 brake, It's 0 to 67 seconds-ish.
Is it
And,
speed limited or
No,
top speed?
it is limited to 145.
But would without the limiter go considerably faster, I guess?
I don't think so. I think that's about it, really. But the agility of it and the way it drives, because it's so light, is quite remarkable. And this particular car, as I say, is the 3 litre. They did do a 4.2, a 3.5 or 6, I think, and then the supercharged one, the top of the tree, which is a racing car with a saloon body.
Many years ago, I had the opportunity to drive a manual 3.4,
Yeah.
which I thought was quite slow.
Yeah.
But this is before the modern era. These are 1980s cars, and also a black 4.2 automatic.
Yeah.
This is, I think, the most popular engine. At the
It
time.
was.
This, I presume, is automatic.
It is, yeah.
So what's the actual model?
It's an XJ350.
All right, okay.
And as I say, they're all aluminium and they're bonded with aircraft glue and self-piercing rivets. They're an unusual construction.
All right.
And many people think that this will be a real classic.
And it'll,
because of
it
that
won't
reason.
rust, will it?
No,
It's made of
no.
aluminium.
The paint can oxidise locally, but not rust as we know it. No.
Right, okay.
And the other thing, it's got largely aluminium suspension, and it's air suspension all round. So it's fabulous to drive. It's really, really comfortable, but still corners well at speed. Extremely good on fuel, believe it or not.
So what does it do to the gallon?
31.
31?
Yeah, which is
a petrol car, 31.
31. I could get 31 no problem, which is amazing, I
Is that
think.
on
It
the
is
motorway
amazing.
or
Yeah,
around
yeah.
town?
On the motorway.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a 1.8 Astra, and I at best get 37 on the motorway.
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
because it's
nothing
so
like
talky.
the size.
No, it's turning 2,000 revs at about 80 miles an hour.
Oh right.
So it's, you know, it's fabulous design, beautifully geared, very light.
Ask you about your registration, C11 Duo. Now, unless your middle name is Ulysses, which I don't think it is, you've got to explain to me. Does that signify something?
It does, yeah. I'm part of a cabaret duo,
Oh right.
along with my wife. So it's actually C11 duo.
Oh right. Okay.
And we also have our 11 duo on the Saab as well.
All right, so
That's
it's
the
his and
reason.
her number plates.
Yeah. That's what we do. We're a cabaret comedy vocal duo in Blackpool, which is where I'm from.
Right,
It's
okay.
on the
So-
coast of Lancashire.
Yeah, if you want to look that up on YouTube, if you just search York and Young,
Yeah,
Yorke and Young,
there you go.
people put some bits on of us.
Do you accept
Right.
bookings from the United States and Australia?
We do, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some free advertising for you.
As long as it's post-dated checks. Yeah, and this particular car, C11 Duo, you'll see featured in this month's Jaguar Enthusiasts magazine as well.
Here in the
There's a
UK.
feature on it, yeah, because I'm a part-time motor trader as well. I have been for 40 years. And this particular car was in an auction, and nobody wanted it, was remotely interested in it, just because the gearbox was showing a fault. It was lighting up like a Christmas tree, the dashboard, which was in the end just a wheel sensor.
Right.
It was 35 quid, which turned it back into a fab car.
Fantastic.
So it's probably the cheapest one in existence.
Cheapest one for you, but not if you come to sell it.
I know my late uncle worked at the garage, had an XJ6 from 1973 to his dying day, NTF 111M, which I checked and sadly no longer exists.
Oh, what a shame.
But he had that car from new into retirement, and until the day he died in the 80s.
Oh, right.
He loved his Jaguars. Before that he had a succession of Mark IIs.
Yeah.
And
I've had a couple of Mark
one always kind of these are the first Jaguars anyone I knew ever had, and clearly they were very prestigious at the time, and indeed still are.
They still are, yeah.
I had a XJ8,
Yeah,
which
nice car.
did about 15 miles to the gallon. And sadly the gearbox went on it.
Yeah.
Presumably that was a lot heavier than this version.
Oh yeah,
double the weight,
double
yeah.
the weight. Can we have a look inside?
Yeah, by all means. It's very traditional. This is William,
Hello, William.
Hello William.
named after, you can guess, Sir William.
Oh, very nice leather seats, covers. Ah, this is my favourite colour interior.
So do we know what the original registration
Union
was on
Jacks.
this vehicle?
Yeah.
Where was it originally from?
I can't believe he paid £1,200 for this in an auction.
So it's a Lancashire,
Totally
Lancashire,
unbelievable.
Lancashire,
Yeah, yeah.
fairly low.
I'm going to have to go to the auctions myself and see if I can get one.
Yes, it was this Northwest Range.
No, this is a proper managing director's car.
It is,
All of
isn't
your
it?
Modern stuff.
No,
A proper.
although having
Shows your life has not been entirely without success. I think that's a very admirable. Clearly this is the ultimate derivation of the XJ, which when we think about it, goes way back to 1967-68.
it does, yeah,
So
68,
when was this vehicle actually manufactured?
2003.
2003.
Yeah.
So they started with the new XJs within a couple of years after
That's
that?
right. No, it was actually this XJ finished in 2009, 2008-9, before they changed to the new shape XJ.
Oh right,
so this is an early one of this
Type.
of the last type. Yeah.
Forgive my ignorance, I was never aware that the very last XJs were so light and so economical.
Oh crikey, yeah, you wouldn't believe it. All aluminium. There's no weight to it at all. It's amazing. I mean, even driving it, you know, the 70s and 80s and 90s, it still returned 30 to the gallon because it's just ticking over and there's just no weight. There's no.
Oh, you can afford to take this to the shops, really, can't you?
Yeah.
So rather than taking the wife's micro.
Yeah. And it's a V6, so it's the tried and tested engine that was put into the S-Type, and the ZF gearbox, 6-speed gearbox, which is a great gearbox.
Can we
It's
see?
nothing. It's got everything going for it.
Can we see the engine?
Yeah,
if
by all
possible?
means. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, baby.
Just struggling to get the hood open. There we go. The business end.
Yeah. It's just a 3-litre 24-valve S-Type engine, really. But as I say, with the ZF 6-speed box, which is still a current box, it's just a fantastic gearbox. You can't even feel it change gear at all.
Which is always the determinant of the best automatic transmission.
Yeah. It's a fabulous gearbox.
So how long have you owned the vehicle?
This about, I'd say about 18 months.
Did you have Jaguars before this?
Yeah, probably everyone that's ever been made.
Everyone
For an
with,
E-Type.
Pre-war SS authentic Jaguar. If you kept that, you'd be worth
No.
millions.
No. From the 60th, the first one I ever had was a 1961 3.8 manual overdrive.
That would have been a Mark II?
Yeah. VDB 795, I still remember it.
Or DB is
VDB.
well, that registration corresponds to Stockport in Greater Manchester in the
it
north
was
of
bought
England.
in Macclesfield in Cheshire.
Yeah,
so-
well, that's understandable. I must admit, I went to a show recently, and there was an old S-Type from the 60s there, and the owner had put a very interesting caption on it, that the famous London villains, the Cray twins,
Yeah.
much favoured the Jaguar mark, and in fact Reggie, who was the one that they thought was the more mental of the two, had an S-Type and allegedly commented he particularly liked it because the boot was big enough to get a body in.
Yeah, well,
We hope this story is perhaps not literal, but who knows?
well, as long as it fitted Jack the Hat.
Indeed.
Yeah.
For those foreign viewers, Jack the Hat McVitie was an infamous one of the a number of infamous murders that these London gangsters did in the 1960s. They used to do awful things, cutting up bodies and things. Very nasty men, but they liked Jaguars, so they had one redeeming feature.
A good bank robber's car.
Oh, indeed, indeed. In the UK in the 1960s, when more things was pure, was dealt with in cash. Historically, the Mark II Jaguar was classically the car that the bank robbers stole the night before as the getaway car for the job.
Yeah.
And
my father was a racecourse bookmaker, so he was Jaguar mad, because that was another kind of people. I don't know if you Americans know what a racecourse bookmaker is.
Yeah, why don't you explain?
Well, a racecourse bookmaker is somebody that stands on a stool with the runners and riders, and then he will chalk the odds up to what he thinks to try and make a book. So that whatever you back, if he lays all the horses, he'll still win a percentage. Unfortunately, the majority of the bookmakers don't work that way because they have to inject their own opinion. So they'll alter the odds to suit what they think is going to be there, so they become more of a gambler than the person putting the money on.
But the odds are always in the bookmaker's favour, hence the fact they can afford a Jaguar.
Theoretically. Oh, that sounds nice.
Our replica C-Type behind us. Two guys again at events, a Jaguar event around the United Kingdom.
The photo, so I'm going to email it tonight.
Fantastic. Well, take care then.
Right.
Take care. And off he goes, driving down to Lincoln, just about 100 miles away in the northern part of the United Kingdom.
It even sounds old, that car.
Brilliant, isn't it?
I don't know why.
I don't know how he made it doesn't sound like an XJ6, does it?
Sounds fun.
Anyway, I think we're about to have a belated brunch and wrapping things up here in Hull, which is a coastal city in the eastern coast of the UK.
Shouldn't do this to my Jag, really.
No. Don't put the... Don't spot. Oh,
this
look.
gentleman's hot coffee doesn't scald his paintwork.
Yeah.
Beautiful, immaculate British Racing green paintwork, that is.
It's actually called Emerald.
Emerald, is that the official colour?
Emerald British Racing Green.
Emerald British
It's
Racing
slightly
green.
metallic, actually.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
It's more metallic than the older traditional British
Yeah, it's a
Racing green.
nice colour. I think it's.
Well, this is very much evocative of Jaguar's racing history and British racing in general.
Yeah.
Motor racing.
Yeah.
And so,
I can't offer you a coffee, chaps. I've only got one cup.
No problem. I think we might have a coffee before we set off back.
and I think with that, we hope you've enjoyed viewing some nice UK Jaguars. And sadly, the weather wasn't quite as good as we hoped, though it was sunny to begin with. And so the 2017 season of car shows, for us anyway, now ends. And we look towards 2018. Lots of shows to come, lots of Jaguars to see. And new year, new season. Goodbye, and
Nice
I hope
to
you
talk to
enjoyed
you.
the video. Very nice to meet you, sir. May I take your name?
Robert Parks.
Robert, very nice to meet you. Lovely
And you.
car.
All right, thank you.
Like that, street.